Hey friends, and welcome here to another video of Live Better. If you're new here, my name is Liv, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I meal prep for the week to make sure that I am consistent with my diet throughout the entire week. Now, I say the term diet pretty loosely here, and in this dialogue, I mean avoiding foods that make me feel horrible and supplementing it with foods that make me feel so much better. I'm going to be making a couple different things today. I really only make two main meals when I do a meal prep, just so that I have something just in case, but basically I like to prep my ingredients to make sure that I can just grab and go. The main recipes that we're going to be working on today is a knockoff kitchari, where it's a lot of beans, veggies, and a little bit of quinoa, as well as a vegan cheesecake. So definitely stay tuned. I will also be putting an actual picture of the recipe so that you don't have to just write it down as you go at the end of the video. So definitely stay tuned for that. When you're meal prepping, I find it a really good habit to stagger what you're cooking. Now, I could definitely make sweet potatoes and then make kitchari and then make a cheesecake, but that would take me basically all day, and that is so counterproductive. Right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start the process of making the cheesecake while I'm prepping my veggies, kind of just going through and making sure that I get this done as fast as possible. So I've got raw cashews that I'm going to be using for the cheesecake. Now, if you are an overachiever, I am not, you can definitely soak these overnight in cold water and put them in the fridge. Or if you're like me, then I'm gonna boil them for about, we're gonna aim for between an hour and 10 minutes. So let's go. So I always like to throw a little bit of salt in my water just to get it boiling a little more. Oh, and while you're boiling your cashews for this recipe, you're actually gonna want well salted water, so throw a lot of salt in there. And I'm gonna wait for the water to actually boil before I throw the cashews in there. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to preheat my oven and chop some sweet potatoes up, because I love having just prepped sweet potatoes throughout the week. I find that it's really versatile food. If I just cut them up into chunks and I roast them with a little bit of salt and pepper, then they're so versatile. In the morning time, if I'm feeling a sweet breakfast, then I'll just chuck some cinnamon and maple syrup on it and call it a day. Or if I'm feeling savory, then I just put some nutritional yeast and some crushed nuts on top, and it's so good. Bauer has been loving roasted sweet potatoes, so gonna make some dog treats, I guess. Always make sure you wash your produce before you eat it. Yeah. Alright, so our water is boiling. I'm just going to put my cashews in. I use 2 cups of cashews for this recipe, so I'm just going to boil my 2 cups. Get back to cutting up my sweet potato. I am just going to grease the pan with coconut oil. I really only put a little bit of coconut oil on, just about enough that it'll cover the pan, like literally just that much. That's all you really need, because while it's in the oven, it'll expand and it'll cover all the sweet potato. So this bad boy is ready to go in the oven. I just have everything on there. I'm just going to set a timer for 15 minutes, and then I will check on that, zhuzh it up a little bit, and then 15 minutes again. The more you cook, the more time it's gonna need. I'm gonna start out with some lentils and quinoa prep to get started. All right. So I actually cook my quinoa in a rice cooker, and I find it so easy. I literally just put it all in and forget about it. Oh, by the way, this is the bowl that I keep putting all the compost in. I just find it a better way than having to run back and forth between the compost. Finish my snack. And if someone says that they don't snack when they meal prep, they're lying to you, all right? They're lying. Whenever you're cooking quinoa, it's a 1-to-2 ratio. I'm just gonna wait for my water to boil a little bit before I chuck my quinoa in, but I will get my lentils on the go. We're gonna get a frying pan. All right, this is huge. We're gonna cook the lentils in here, but we're also gonna be cooking the whole kitchari in here, okay? So hear me out. When you're cooking lentils, you're just gonna add water to the bottom of the pan. Make sure that it's covered about, I'm Canadian, so I'm gonna do centimeters, like 5 centimeters. I really just make sure that the water is covering the bottom, and then I put the lentils in. And just like my quinoa, I'm going to wait for that to boil. And that's perfect timing because my quinoa water is boiled. So I put 2 cups of water in there, so I'm going to put 1 cup of quinoa in there. Oh, when I hear the water boiling for my lentils, so I'm honestly just gonna chuck my lentils in. I have 8 minutes till my sweet potatoes are ready to be zhuzhed up. So I think that I am going to, oh, that was 8 seconds. Okay, it's ready now. Alright, so my sweet potato is honestly pretty good right now. It's pretty soft. You can take a fork and just poke them. And while I already have my mitt and my handy dandy stirring spoon, I'm just going to check on my quinoa. While that stuff is cooking, I'm going to just chop up a bell pepper because I like to just store whatever vegetable I'm feeling that week and just munch on that throughout the week, because I know whenever I am hungry, I'm going to gravitate towards the closest, most accessible thing, and if that's a cut up bell pepper, that's great. If it's McDonald's drive-thru, not so good. So we're just gonna do that. Alright, so things are ramping up. My sweet potato just dinged, so I'm going to take that out of the oven right now. I just put my bell peppers in that container, and I'm going to put that in the fridge right in the front so that I can see it and just grab it right away. They look so good. It's like toasted on the outside and everything. Alright, I'm very excited. And Bauer is too. Hi, babies. I'm so obsessed with my dog. I really do apologize. I do apologize. I am just going to use the same pan as the sweet potato for the Kitchari vegetables that I'm going to be making. So I'm just going to take the sweet potato and put it in one of my new Tupperware. I love these. It's so cute. It's like a little, I don't know, Moroccan Greek pattern, and it's actually ceramic, so I don't feel bad about microwaving them. This bowl will last me and Dame all week. Alright, so I'm just going to throw some oil on that pan and then chuck my already chopped veggies on that, and then I'm going to put that in the oven, which I still have on from the sweet potato, and that'll literally take 15 to maybe 20 minutes to cook, but I wouldn't expect more than that. So I just checked on my quinoa and it is perfect. This is why I recommend everybody get a rice cooker. If you find that you are always meal prepping, or just honestly borrow somebody's rice cooker. Look, it's not burnt to the bottom or anything. Right now I'm just going to crush up some seeds and spices and everything to get that ready for my kitchari. I've got my mortar and pestle. It's super white, so that's why it's really glary. I'm going to be using cardamom pods and cumin seeds. Yes, you can totally buy the powder, but I find it better crushed. I wish you guys could smell this. Like, just look at this beauty. I have my vegetable broth. You're gonna put about 2 cups of veggie stock in with your lentils. So my lentils are completely done cooking now. You can see that they're done when you have a little bit of moisture at the bottom, but not too much. So again, about like 2 cups of this. I'm going to put my spices in. So along with the spices that I just ground up, I'm going to add some salt, turmeric, chili powder, and curry, but we'll add that after. That's just going to simmer for a minute while I check on our veggies. Alright, we are looking good. I think I'm gonna put this in for about maybe like 5 more minutes. And while that gets ready, I am going to prep the cheesecake stuff. So I'm going to focus on making the filling for the cheesecake first. All you're gonna need is some maple syrup, lemon, and a little bit of coconut cream. Now I had some coconut milk and I just skimmed the top and then I put it in the fridge. And then obviously you need your boiled cashews. So I'm just gonna let my cashews cool out for a little bit. My vegetables are actually just about to ding. All right, in like 4 seconds, but I'm gonna grab those, and actually my Kitchari is ready to get its vegetables. So we're gonna do that. Told ya. And I'm just going to put the curry in now. I honestly use 2 teaspoons of curry powder. Now this is not an authentic Kitchari dish. I will just put a full disclaimer there. This is kind of what I do when I'm in a pinch. I'll just show you guys right quick. This is going to chill with a little bit of coconut cream in it as well, just to make it a little creamier. So I'm literally just gonna use like a teaspoon. That's a tablespoon, sorry. I just cook that on low heat and it'll just get nice and creamy and dense and so delicious. Now to the main event, the cheesecake. What you're going to need first is your blender. So I'm going to put the cashews in. All the cashews go in. I need my lemon juice. Got my lemon juice, so I'm just gonna grab a bowl for that. You need about half a cup of lemon juice. I'm gonna put her in. Now onto our maple syrup. So there's 1, and then 2, and 3. If you miscount, the maple syrup is kind of the step where it's okay to miscount, because worst comes to worst, your cheesecake is a little sweeter. And then I'm going to use, that's 2 tablespoons of coconut cream, and we are going to blend this up. And I'm just gonna push everything down a little bit. And I am actually gonna add a little bit more coconut cream. So like a heaping tablespoon now. We are looking good. We're just gonna stick this in the fridge. And while that's chilling for a minute, I'm gonna make the crust right quick. For this part right here, you're going to need a food processor, or you can just clean out the blender that you just used. For the crust, you're going to want whatever nuts. So I'm using raw almonds, some sunflower seeds, and walnuts. I find that walnuts make it especially buttery. If you like a good graham cracker crust, then use a lot of walnuts. And you're gonna use some shredded coconuts, as well as some dates that Damien has clearly been snacking on. He always snacks on them before I can cook with them. So you're just gonna use 6 dates. Aim for 1.5 cups of nuts. So I'm going to use the rest of my walnuts, which brings me to about 1/2 cup. And then I'll finish that with almonds. There's 1 cup. And that's about 1/4. Honestly, I'm gonna forget the sunflower seeds because I can use those for other things. Like I like to keep this jar of just crushed sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds in here for just salad toppings. And put a couple more almonds in. So you're gonna need 1/4 cup of shredded coconuts. And then just a pinch of salt. And then you're gonna get a tablespoon of coconut oil. And then you're just gonna food process that until it's like a crumbly texture. So we are ready to put it in. I have a pan right now. This is just a regular loaf tin. Now, yes, use a cheesecake tin if you have it. I don't. So we are going to be using this, and honestly, it's worked for me before, so we're gonna hope it works again. The trick is, you're gonna wanna grease it in coconut oil. Alright, so that is successfully greased. Now the second part, you're gonna need parchment paper. You're gonna cut your parchment paper so that it's the size of the bottom of your pan. So like just like this, and then you just place it on the bottom like this, and then you're gonna grease on top of it with coconut oil as well. I am going to just take the processed mix that I made, and I'll just kind of show you what it looks like. So it's just like this. It's just kind of crumbly, but it'll stick together if like you press it together. We're just gonna put that in here, and honestly, I may have made a little bit too much for the bottom here. So you're just gonna wanna pat the bottom down like that. And then you're going to bring out your beautiful cheesecake mixture. You're literally just going to be putting your cheesecake mixture in, and then you're gonna call it a day and eat it later. Now you're just going to put your mix in the freezer. You can put it in the fridge if you want, but I like to get things a little kick-started, so it's going right in the freezer for me. Now this is totally optional, but I love having fresh berries with my cheesecake. So I'm just going to take some of my mixed berries and I'm going to just put some of that with some maple syrup in a frying pan, fry that up really quick, and that'll be the topping for my cheesecake. We'll probably cut to the clip later tonight when that happens. So it's a little bit later. I have let the cheesecake chill in I actually put it back in the fridge because I was worried about leaving it in the freezer. I'm just going to put the topping on the cheesecake while I drink my kombucha. This is Cove kombucha. It's actually made in Nova Scotia, which is so cute. I love it when I can find locally made things. It just makes me feel a lot better about my purchases, honestly. I could literally just eat this. So I am just going to put the cheesecake in the fridge and it's going to chill, and I need to pick Dame up from work. We will dig into the cheesecake and I'll let you know how it is, and he will give you his honest opinion too. Alright, see you then. Dame's home. You can tell because he's been running around with the dog.
I'm out of breath.
But I told Dame that I would not eat the cheesecake without him, so we're gonna pull it out of the fridge and see how it turned out.
Okay, unveil. 3, 2, 1. It looks so good. We are going to have a dirty good time with this cheesecake.
Yeah, are you excited?
It's gonna be awesome. What do you think, baby? Top-notch stuff? An absolute cheese quake.
Oh, that's really good. It's a little cold, but it's really good.
Look, Bauer is like all up on it. He's like, hey, I want some cheesecake.
Oh,
there it is.
Really good. And that tastes really good.
Top-notch cheesecake.
Right. You wanna try now?
I would love to try it now.
Alright.
Is that your piece?
No! Oh wait, I wanna taste this with you.
Oh, jeez, Liv.
Alright, ready?
Oh,
That's really good.
It is really good. Really,
It's
really,
really good.
Really
I like
good.
the crust more. The crust is like crunchier than last time, so
Yeah.
Stick with the almonds, I think. Yeah.
Right.
Alright, let's fast forward. So I am just going to package up my lovely quinoa that I have for the week, and I'm also going to put my curry in a big old Tupperware for myself. Now I will typically have this throughout the week, pick and choose when I want to have it, because where I have the quinoa and the chopped veggies and some sweet potato cooked, it's really easy for me to whip up a Nourish bowl. I just need to heat up the ingredients or throw them into a bowl. They're already cooked, they're already cut, it's all done, it's super easy. So I kind of get to choose what meal I want. It's like a little restaurant. So just like look at this. Look at this beauty. Look at this. So again, I will put that with either some quinoa or some steamed kale, either or, super yummy. And then we're just gonna put my extra quinoa in my beautiful Tupperware bowls. I've successfully gotten quinoa all over my kitchen. Fantastic. I really hope you guys enjoyed this little meal prepping video. I now have a supper meal, a bunch of lunches for myself, and some snacks even, and a lovely, lovely dessert. I really, really appreciate you for being here. Please make sure that you are subscribed and that you are clicking the bell notification button because it lets you know when I upload. I upload twice a week, so you definitely want to know when that is. Also, follow me over on Instagram at live_better_. I post there frequently. Make sure that you also give this video a like. It really supports my channel. And make sure that you guys are taking care of yourselves. Feed yourselves this beautiful, beautiful meal and have a fantastic day. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.